Hello, Bloomin' Cheese here. Hello, all. Hope you guys do like. Hope you guys do comment. Hope you guys do subscribe. This is a continuation of Peter Pan. Book 1995 edition has pretty good artwork. I'm reading the whole book just for you guys. That's right. Okay. So this is the next part to the book. I'm at about page 59 out of 100, I think. And so I'm about a little over halfway through, not much more. Here we go. This is the continuation of the 1995 Peter Pan book adaptation. Everything had been fine until Wendy arrived. If only Peter hadn't gone to the nursery for his shadow. "I've got it, Smee," said Hook suddenly. "We'll save the lad from himself." "But how?" Smee asked. "We sail in the morning." "That's it," Hook cried, as if suddenly overtaken with a brilliant idea. "We'll kidnap Wendy. Take her to sea with us. And once she's gone, Peter will forget this mad and frustration." He made for the door. "Come, Smee," Hook shouted. "We'll leave immediately and surround Peter's home." "But Captain," objected Smee, "we don't know where Peter Pan lives." Hook stopped in the doorway. "Great Scott!" he exclaimed, suddenly remembering. He looked back to Smee helplessly. "You're right." Tinkerbell eagerly flew to the map in the captain's table and jingled. "What?" asked Hook, frightening innocence. "You could show us the way to Peter's hideout?" "Why, I never thought of that." He came back to the table and watched as Tinkerbell slowly outlined the route. He grew impatient at one point. "Get on with it," he snapped, then quickly caught himself. Tinkerbell flew up and jingled scorningly. "Harm Peter?" said Hook innocently. "I give my word never to lay a finger or hook on him." Satisfied, Tinkerbell revealed the location of Peter's hideaway on the map. "Hangman's Tree?" Hook cried with delight. He grabbed Tinkerbell and sneered. "Thank you, my dear. You've been most helpful." He thrust her into a lantern and locked its door. Another 2-page artwork. Isn't that beautiful? With a start, Tinkerbell realized what she's done. She'd betrayed Peter. Hook had never wanted Wendy. It was Peter he'd been after all along. She banged frantically against the glass, trying to escape. She had to warn Peter. Love these artworks. The boys danced all the way from the Indian camp to Hangman's Tree and then slid down the secret entrance to the hideout. They danced past Wendy, who was sitting on the edge of her bed. She appeared thoroughly unamused. Big Chief Flying Eagle greets his braves. Peter crowed as he made his triumphant entrance. The boys dropped to their knees and bowed. Big Chief greets little mother, Peter told Wendy. Said Wendy sourly as she turned away. Oh, Wendy. Peter's voice was edged with disappointment. Is it all you have to say? Everyone thinks I'm wonderful. Especially Tiger Lily, said Wendy sharply. John, Michael, she said to the boys, take off that paint and get ready for bed. Bed? Said John. Braves don't sleep. Michael crossed his arms resentfully. We go days without sleep. But we're going home in the morning, said Wendy. Home? John gasped. We don't want to go home, Michael complained. Don't go home, said Peter in a commanding tone. Wendy and the boys will stay and have a good time. Wendy felt her patience being tested. Now, Peter, Wendy said, will stop pretending and be practical. But Peter had no interest in being practical. Chief Flying Eagle has spoken, he said pompously. He crossed his arms and stalked into his own room. The boys broke out in a raucous cheer. Oh, for goodness sake, boys, Wendy tried to calm John and Michael down. Don't you want to stay here and grow up like Peter and the Lost Boys? Yes, Michael cried. But you can't, insisted Wendy, buttoning up his pink pajamas. You need a mother. Aren't you our mother? Michael asked. Of course not, Wendy replied. Surely you haven't forgot our real mother. Did she have silky ears and wear a fur coat? Michael asked. No, Michael, that was Nana, Wendy said. Across the room, the Lost Boys stopped playing and listened. I think I had a mother once, Chubby said. What was she like? Asked one of the raccoon twins. I forgot, Chubby admitted. I had a white rat once, said Foxy. That's no mother, Chubby said angrily. As usually, when the Lost Boys disagreed about something, a loud ruckus ensued. Boys, cried Wendy impatiently. Please stop. I'll tell you what a mother is. The Lost Boys stopped fighting and settled into a tight circle around Wendy. She sat down on the bed and took Michael into her lap. Well, Wendy began, a mother is the most wonderful person in the world. She's the angel voice that bids you good night, kisses your cheek, and whispers, sleep tight. The boys listened raptly. Those who remembered their mothers now missed them dearly. Those who couldn't remember wished they could. They slowly wiped the war paint from their faces and pulled the feathers from their headbands. Michael put his arms around his big sister and sniffed. I want to see my mother. I propose we leave for home at once, John declared, grabbing his hat. Could I go too? Chubby asked. Us too, said the other lost boys. They begged Wendy to take them with her. All right, boys, she said. I'm sure Mother would be glad to have you. That is, if Peter doesn't mind. Peter stuck his head out from behind the curtain into his room. Go ahead, he said grumpily. Go back and grow up. But I'm warning you, he said severely. Once you grow up, you can never come back. Never. He disappeared back into his room. The boys were surprised at the harshness of his words. But their thoughts soon turned again to having a mother. Shall we be off, men? Called John, who was standing near the exit. The boys lined up and started out. Wendy paused as she passed by Peter's room. Peter, she called hopefully. There was no answer. Wendy whispered a final sad farewell and left the treehouse. At the entrance to Hangman's Tree, Wendy gasped. Captain Hook and his band of pirates had captured the boys. A rough hand then came down over her mouth. Take them away, men, Hook ordered. The pirates led the children back to the ship. Hook and Smee gazed down into the secret entrance. And now, Smee, said Hook, we'll take care of Master Peter Pan. He lowered a box and tied with a ribbon into Peter's lair. Wouldn't it be more human-like to slit his throat? Smee asked. Now the artwork, that's when they all got captured. There's the present that they dropped down into the hole. Aye, it would, Hook sniggered. But I gave my word not to lay a finger or a hook on Peter Pan. And Captain Hook never breaks a promise. Having left the mysterious box where Peter would find it, Hook and Smee quickly made their way back to the ship. Last thing is this artwork. They're back on the ship with Captain Hook. Okay. Hope you guys do like. Hope you guys do comment right down there. Hope you guys do subscribe. Bloomin' Cheese out of here.